In today's landscape painting demonstration, I'm inspired to paint a scene of the majestic Hex River Valley, with its colorful, luscious vineyards and a backdrop of mysterious, epic mountains. I will show you the process behind the creation of this incredible scene and how I use reference material to its maximum effect to create the outcome I want. Let's begin. Let's be honest. If we had to paint most of our reference material just the way it is on the photograph, I don't think most people will understand or get what the artist felt on the day. Very often the artist resorts to artistic license. Like here, I decided to use a backdrop of dramatic clouds, which I'm going to merge with the mountain scene to enhance the dramatic effect. Here we have the photograph, and the orange shape shows where I intend merging in those clouds. Unfortunately, this photograph was taken in the winter months when the vineyards are in dormancy, so I have to use another reference for blooming vineyards. For some interest and depth, I decided to put in some trees from another reference. So I did a thumbnail drawing showing the overall plan of my painting. And I feel I've got something there. Even though I'm not happy with the clouds, but I'm changing that in the final painting. Color-wise, I'm using titanium white, Van Dyke brown, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, light blue, violet, cadmium orange, Verte green, buff titanium, maroon, cadmium orange, aquamarine, raw sienna, cadmium yellow, and cadmium lemon. So first I'll start with planning out my basic framework onto a 125 by 80 centimeter canvas MDF board that has been primed, using a synthetic ground and some odorless mineral spirits, making sure all my proportions are being transferred meticulously. So now that I've done my basic sketch in, I'm quite happy with the beginnings and the foundation that I've placed there. I really feel like I got that low horizon there that I wanted, and then going up into these high mountains with that cloud swooping in. Yeah, it's really interesting how this is developing. So let's start with the blocking and see how that goes. So what then is artistic license actually? The definition I could find goes a little something like this: the freedom by creators such as authors, filmmakers, and artists to deviate from factual accuracy, conventional rules, or literal truth to enhance dramatic, artistic, or narrative impact. It allows for altering, merging, or ignoring rules to serve the overall creative vision. That is a powerful realization right there, and gives us the core of what is important. Not just merely technical skill, accurate proportions, or necessarily what is acceptable to the mainstream, but what is real for you, what occurs to you that might not necessarily be obvious to others. No one can see with your eyes or has the exact same emotional response to see the same visual stimuli as you do. You see, as an artist, you bring your own unique perspective to the table. No one has your unique vision and imagination either. Given the time and circumstance, that will also have an effect on your work. For instance, if I had to do this scene again, it might come out all different. Different mood, different feel altogether. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done with the blocking here. There we go. And it's looking absolutely great. Basic shapes already put out. So I've got the base coat down, to which I can now sit and work more extensively and start modeling and start molding depth into this. Okay, so let's get to it then. So when is it acceptable to deviate from your reference? Let me know in the comments section what you think about when and where artistic license is needed and where not. I feel it's one of my most powerful tools as an artist. When I first took that photo, of the mountains, I know I was going to paint that scene. I just needed the right sky to fuse to create the intended drama in the scene. Then one late afternoon, there was the most beautiful, brooding sky outside my studio premises. And I must have taken hundreds of photographs, as I usually do. And that's where the idea for that sky clicked with the scene. I finally got the vision in my mind's eye. And moments like this is precious for an artist. Watch out for them when they are revealed to you. It really has nothing to do with pure inspiration though. I could argue that it comes from continuous digging and searching. It was more part of a constructive journey. So yes, I always take the opportunity to collect reference material, and this is ongoing and sometimes outpaces my production by far. But collecting and using multiple references makes my work a lot easier and aids the imaginatory process to produce work more quickly. So if anything, don't just look for the perfect photograph to paint. Mix them up, fuse them together, experiment. You are going to be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so this is coming together nicely. After those initial flat layers, I started to create more nuanced block in, and I started to build up different shapes, and it's looking really good. It's looking like there's really depth and dimension coming into this piece here. So I'm going to continue working now on this. It's my third session on this. One area where I use artistic license in a more subtle way is in my color choices. I deliberately bring out my colors a couple of notches, like with that dark purple in the closer peak, in contrast to the softer blue-gray in the other mountain, creating an exaggerated feeling of depth. Yet again, that is intentional. and that hint of aquamarine blue in the sky between the mountain and the clouds. So being experimental with broken color can do so much for your painting experience. I felt that the foreground and middle ground needed something, and decided that I needed to put something more interesting in the middle distance. I put in a tree on that left, but I felt it had little impact, and I needed to break those greens a little. So yes, I removed that tree with some odorless mineral spirits and some towel paper. Instead, I put in a farmhouse with a bright red roof, and the painting instantly looked more vibrant and communicates that feeling of depth nicely. So little things like that can be attributed to artistic license. Originally, that farmhouse was not planned into the painting, but putting that farmhouse in has almost immediately shifted the narrative in the work, and the painting feels more like there is life, prosperity, and abundance, with the promise of rain enriching the soil with that encroaching storm, rather than the darker, more solitary vibe I was going for in the beginning, showing you just what artistic license can do. So, in that way, I think you have to be a little careful with artistic license as well. Well, let me know in the comments once again. What's your opinion on this? Lastly, something must be said about the vineyard and those final details. I took quite a chance with the vines, as the picture showed dead vines instead of autumn colors in the painting. Using some cadmium yellows, oranges and cadmium reds out of the tube, I transformed the foreground into luscious vines showing perspective and recedence into the distance. As for the final details, I have to take care that I don't overdo it. Stand back frequently and contemplate where I put in those details. It is important to be selective with details, as it can quickly overwhelm the artwork, eliminating any direction you might have instead. So in that way, we can see how restraint contributes to artistic license. Once again, thank you for watching this video till the end. I appreciate it, as the production takes time and the editing takes time, so I can bring you demonstration videos and give you an in-depth look into my process. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment in the comment section. And until my next video, take care and see you soon.